Lords, we would miss your Lordships, especially your Lordship's very cool and calm demeanor in the court. But most my Lord, importantly, my Lord, we have on this side, my Lord, always experienced a very subtle sense of humor, which your Lordships have always exhibited. That would always be missed. While even in the midst of a very seriously or hotly contested matter, your Lordship's humor used to play the role of a calming my Lord, presence, my Lord. Lord, I wish your Lordships a very successful next inning, my Lord, and more particularly, a very healthy life, my Lord, and a long life. Thank you.
Mr. Sibyl.
Thank you, Chief Justice. What can I say? I must share with you something that happens to us every evening while you are on the bench. Because when a matter comes up, we ask, which bench is it? And when we hear it is before Justice Bopanna's bench, we heave a sigh of relief.
Blood pressure depends upon that.
The reason, I give you the reason. You epitomize serenity. The serenity of the ocean and the depth of your generosity. I've always felt that coming in your court. And I've never gone away disappointed whether I win a case or lose a case. Hear us with exemplary patience. Never get swayed by what we do in court occasionally. But that's the beauty of the law, and we believe that it is this that gives us the confidence that this court is the court where we will get justice. Thank you very much for being what you are. All the best for the future, because what you did here will remain with us for many, many years. Thank you.
Mona.
To say that, Lord, it's always been a pleasure on behalf of the entire Women Bar and others as well, my Lord. I'm expressing the sentiments that whenever we got an opportunity, like Mr. Sibyl would say correctly, but we always look forward to appear in that court, Lord. And junior, senior, it doesn't matter. Whoever wanted to say anything, without modulation of the voice from the beginning till the end, Lord, your Lordship will observe entire proceedings and then pass orders equally. And with the same kind of equanimity, he'll be passing all the orders. Now, the juniors also felt very, very comfortable in appearing your Lordship's court. They feel so comfortable, and also, Lord, they feel so encouraged to come and appear before your Lordships. For the brief spell that your Lordships were not holding the court, we would go around the courtroom and then see when your Lordships will be returning after that. So there was an indirect prayer for your Lordships to return soon. So we also hope and pray that, Lord, your Lordships have a very healthy and a peaceful return life.
If one asks a question, who is an ideal judge? I think the first person in my mind would be Justice Bopanna. He's so calm in the court and he has a very good sense of humor. And I have, while appearing before him, I have seen there will be a very good joke cracked, and it has been a wonderful experience appearing before you. And even for us, we used to be thrilled when our matters were going to be listed before him. And your Lordships, we missed you for those months. Even for us, it's a great loss, those 6 months. But we wish you all the very best and a very, very healthy life ahead, your Lordships.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruswamy.
Justice Bopanna, being in your court felt like feeling the sunshine on a cold winter's day. For your serenity, as Mr. Sibyl said, your legal acumen, your affability, and your humor. I always walked out of your court, irrespective of whether I got a favorable or unfavorable order, smiling. So for being that sunshine, thank you. Wishing you much laughter in your next innings. Wishing you good health. And I hope you'll entertain us once in a while over a cup of tea, because I personally would love to feel that sunshine once in a while. Wishing you all the best, sir.
Mr. Dave.
Lords, This is not about the appearances in court. There was an unofficial poll that was conducted in the Supreme Court as who's the most popular, good-looking, calm, intelligent judge. And I'm sorry, I don't mean any disrespect to your lordship. If the proportion of the
If you
population,
said something about us, we would be thinking, which matter does Mr. Dave have on board today?
if the proportion of that population to the popularity of Justice Bopanna, who led, like Mr. Sibbal yesterday, my lords, it's more than Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, and I don't want to be discriminating against the southern states, my lords. So all the people, my lords, I would only request Justice Bopanna, if he can, just walk in the corridor today, being the last day, come for a cup of coffee to the canteen, and please assess the popularity that your lordships have amongst the member of the bar. I would like to thank your lordships for coming to this court and enriching all of us. Oblige.
And while reserving my appetite for a more detailed presentation this evening, I would just like to say that Brother Bopanna is not just a great gentleman, a compassionate judge, but he's above all a good human being. And I think that is the heart of good judging. Just to give you one example, in one of those transfer petitions which are typically listed before the ceremonial bench, there was a little resistance on the part of the respondent to do a mediation in Delhi. And prima facie, I also thought that we can ask the parties to mediate before the transferee High Court. But I don't take a decision on any matter before I consult both my judges, and in this case, all three colleagues. So Brother Bopanna looked at me and said, we'll give them one opportunity to come mediate in the Supreme Court. And I immediately realized the wisdom of long experience, where Brother Bopanna felt that after all, a mediation before the Supreme Court may carry some greater weight for the parties than a mediation before the district court. So that's Justice Bopanna personified. Even when there are just 3 or 4 matters to go before he takes his final bow, he treats every matter with the same amount of diligence, dedication that he did on the first day of his appointment to the High Court. Brother Bopanna was in medical leave, all of you know, for a few months. Every time I called him up to find out how he is, he would be first concerned, before telling me about how he is, he would be talking about the Constitution Bench judgment which was pending before us, and say that, Chief, I'll try and come sometime for at least a day or 2 days and we'll pronounce the bench judgment and I'll go back on leave. And I would always tell him that, look, you better get well soon. When I went to his home, his very gracious spouse, Ms. Mona Bopanna, who is here, his daughter, his son, his in-laws, they all congregated there. And we were wondering, I mean, we were there to wish him get well soon, but there he was handing out hospitality to visitors from Delhi, his colleagues from Delhi who would come and meet him during those days when he was in Bangalore. Brother Bopanna, you have been truly a stellar judge of the Supreme Court right up to your last day in the Supreme Court, and truly we'll miss you. When I offered Brother Bopanna an assignment post-retirement in one of the tribunals, because we are in need of good judges to man some very important tribunals, he looked at me and said, Chief, please liberate me from that thought and let me go back and do something else. I don't know if he really wants to go to the hills or whether he will do what he has to do, which is that he'll be in such great demand as an arbitrator, because he's known to be a judge of the highest standards of integrity, independence, competence, proficiency. So I don't think, Brother Bopanna, that the bar in Delhi is going to let you off so quickly. And we do hope that you will be part of us and continue to do good work even hereafter. And speaking for myself, we'd like you to be continued in your association with us over here. Sitting on the bench with Justice Bopanna, he would just whisper something, in the midst of a matter, and whisper it with such a great deal of understudied elegance. And that was the beauty of sitting with Justice Bopanna. He would never make a point with aggression. He would say something just in a half a sentence, which summed up perhaps that strategy for doing justice in that case. And I think, sitting on this side of the court, that means so much to the Chief Justice, because as a Chief Justice, there are 200 things going on in your mind, something administratively, but for that moment, you're focused only on that case. And having an able ally like Justice Bopanna, both as the Chief Justice and the Collegium as a senior judge meant really a lot to me as a Chief Justice. And thank you very much, therefore, for all your cooperation and your association with the court and for your friendship, Brother Bopanna. We wish you all the best for the future. May I now request Justice Bopanna to say a few words.
I don't know really what to say. Honorable the Chief Justice, Justice Dr. Chandrachud, colleagues on the bench, Justice Parjiwala and Justice Anuj Mishra. Leonard Attorney General, Leonard Solicitor General, Mr. Kapil Sibal, President-elect, President of the Bar Association, and all Leonard Senior Counsel who addressed. Well, the thought now is, after probably till yesterday, day before, I thought it's only a day of retirement and then I'll be quietly retiring. But the day I was called to Torah Association, when I realized the affection, after that I'm a little emotional. Anyway, I mean, all these good things, what you have said, I don't know how much I deserve. But then when all of you are saying, quietly at the corner, I was just looking at my wife's face. She wasn't surprised, she wasn't astonished, nor did she think she's in a wrong program. So I acknowledge whatever you have said, there's a problem there. So I acknowledge what you have said. And I thank you for all the sentiments. And now I can only say thank you and goodbye. Because evening we will be probably meeting. Many of you may not be, but we will again meet, because I also know that the chief has about 81 matters in his list to complete. I will not take much time of yours. If I have been of some service to all of you, to the country, that itself is the greatest satisfaction which I carry with me. So let me thank you all once again. Goodbye to all until we meet again.